Well, good day. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for September 2nd, 2025. So, my friends, interesting day. Tomorrow, you're going to get some news. Let's start out there. Redbook retail sales, they're delayed today. It's coming out tomorrow due to the holiday that was on Monday. Factory order data coming out at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. JOLTS number, that's always important, and more so now. Everything to do with jobs will have a big importance because the market's looking for reasons for the Fed to cut interest rates via jobs. They're looking for a number that is worse than 7.437 million jobs being ordered and offered. And in Google, you're saying that they want a case. Now, it's a big case. You know, what's been after in the nitty-gritty is the Justice Department and others. Everybody's been after Google to get rid of Chrome. That's not what this judge did. They can't have an exclusive on Android or Apple products. They can't enter into an agreement where they don't share some data. You can read through this. They have to share data with rivals to improve competition. But they won much of what they wanted, and they're not going to divest itself of Google Chrome, or, as the Justice Department wanted, and Google won't be allowed to enter exclusive contracts. So what? Their product's good enough to stand on its own. It's not the same, but 8% rally in the market afterwards. So that's not a bad day. Would you agree? Stocks were down. It's like traders came back, the A-League traders, and they said, we're back from vacation. This market's too high. Let's sell everything. And they did. Look at all the indices that came down. A lot of these markets had been bubbling, and they still are. One day down doesn't change an awful lot. It doesn't change some of the trends yet, neutralize some of the uptrend, but they didn't start downtrends. That's the important thing as I'm seeing it in the marketplace. Netflix keeps finding a bid in the 1180s. It's been going there over and over. Sooner rather than later, I'm expecting for it to stabilize and give a potential buy signal in the market. I like what uranium's doing right here. Google, as you could see, down, but I'm telling you, you're getting a pop in this market right now. ARK, down 164 as Tesla lost $4.50. Lilly came back a little bit today. NVIDIA down $3. Boeing went up as you're now getting some privatization of some different airlines, private airlines coming together, and that spells good news for Boeing. So the market up there as well. Let's go to ZS. One of you asked me to do this, and this is, it's called Zecular, and they are the security industry for websites and the like. And as you could see the market playing a little bit of a game here, here's exactly what they do. They're a provision of cloud-based internet security platforms. These are the different names of them. They do a lot of business. The market's got a lower low, higher high, which is not a trend. It's fighting now, trying to stabilize in this area that it recently came down to. It's holding the 18 and the 100-day average of closes. The resistance is the upper Bollinger Band, which is just where, if you watch what this market did, and I come into this, let me come back to it right now, right where the market went, and it stalled out today. Okay, but if you can clear that area, eventually you might start an uptrend. Remember, you only stay outside of the Bollinger Band 5% of the time, but eventually it goes sideways, and from the sideways action, you get trends that develop in the market one way or the other. Sideways action, and then an uptrend eventually develop. Not always an uptrend, different trends. Momentum-wise, the slow stochastics had been pointing up pretty neutral right here. Oklo. So in Oklo, no trend. Also just holding the 18-day average, not seeing anything there. Netflix, as I tell you, keeps coming down to these areas. Here's the 200-day average. You can see it keeps fighting there. And it's fighting at the 100 in the Bollinger Band right now. UNH, United Healthcare, well, it certainly has come back. This market's no longer in the toilet. It's not in the 240 area. Rather, it's in the 300, 308 area. So the question is, where's a good entry spot? It's embedding. That's important. So in my subscriber videos, I'll talk about that, which brings me to this before I go on any further. I decided, one of you wrote, in fact, a number of you wrote me, I'm on holiday, I'm coming back, can you extend it? You normally give it the first week that you're back. Until Thursday, I'll take into account Labor Day. The sale is still on. All you need to do is go to our website, iraepstein.com. Any 3-month or 1-year subscription, either, 33% off. Any of my charting courses, the Bollinger Band, the Outside Day, or the full charting, 33% off. So you might want to take advantage of it. All right, if we can, let's get back to where we were. And as I said, in UNH, I think the market, as long as you have an embedded reading, it looks bullish to me. Now, oil, Exxon, breaking down, running the lower Bollinger Band. I call this the gorilla glue trade. It's when the market latches onto the Bollinger Band, it forces it to break out of some sideways action and tries to get the market to embed, to feed on itself. Sometimes that feeding wears itself out in quick order. There's nothing bullish here. You have a downtrend, bias down, you're oversold, and you're at a Bollinger Band or under it. Robinhood, as long as cryptos went crashing down, Robinhood went with them. I don't look for a lot of follow through. I think it's more or less going to stay in the sideways action for the moment being. In Tesla, you ran out of steam last week, and now the market's back under the 18-day average, void of a trend. You have higher highs, lower lows, market turned down right there. Joby, higher high, lower low, embedded reading, still not ready for a buy by any means. What we might get here, and I'll put it in my subscriber video, is via the embedded reading, when it's lost, there could be a buy signal that comes out of it to get back to the 18-day average. So I'm watching it for that now. In XLF, higher highs, lower lows. But it has an embedded reading. Until it loses that reading, I say the market on this break is still getting bought by the pros. In XLI, you're caught in the Bollinger Bands. Don't try to make something out of nothing. And that's what you've got, a bunch of nothing right there. In XLE, still an embedded reading, trying to work itself higher. In GLD, up and away. Gold is just on a tear. The markets believe that President Trump's interfering with the Fed. They're losing their independence. They're going to cut interest rates. There's unsurety about, are these tariffs going to stay in place? Does the government have to replace money? There's so much unknown that people are just running to the gold market because of that. And silver's not going to be left behind. It took off today. You're at 40-year highs in silver. I mean, silver futures are now over $40 an ounce. Copper, back up and looking good. You know, once you see all these countries, China, Russia, India, all getting together, that could be demand for copper. The problem for China is countries realize that China is dumping their products left and right on them. When do they stand up and say, enough is enough? We don't want you to continue doing that. You're killing our domestic markets. We've done it in the West. They haven't done it in Asia. In BND, higher high, lower low. Don't know what to make out of interest rates right here. And you'll probably stay like that as we get into more and more of the jobs data right into Friday, the U.S. jobs report. In UUP, higher highs, lower lows, come back to the upper Bollinger Band. So the dollar's getting a bid. The dollar strong with gold. That's not the usual party there. And FXE is trying to be bearish at this time, coming down, and yet we're hearing from the European Central Bank they are not about to cut interest rates at their upcoming meeting, which is right around the corner now. So with that, I'm Ira Epstein, again reminding one and all, take advantage of this. You only have it for 2 more days, and that's where it ends. IraEpstein.com under either research or courses. You have a great evening.